Well, Uncle Doug.
To who?
To who? At the call of the lesser owl, we know that it is time.
The greater owl says, to whom?
Yes, the greater owl knows better. The greater owl had a classical education at Cambridge. But at the call of the lesser owl, we know it is time to talk about all things Catholic. And there's really nothing that gives me greater joy, as you know if you listen to the Holy Prepuce. Yeah. And Dan, I think you have delved into the murky, germ-filled holy waters of Catholicism this week, have you not?
I have indeed, although it also applies to other parts of Christianity, because saints are revered throughout Christendom. Mm-hmm. The Orthodoxy people, they like the saints,
but shunned by the Protestants.
Well,
shunned.
No, some of the Protestants are still into saints. It's a very interesting thing.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Yes, they can. But because, yes, Uncle Mark, you stole the best Catholic nastiness. I did find some disgusting for us all. So here we go. It's not what you think.
All right.
This week's saint came into my life this week when Frank over on Thank God I'm Atheist did a story about Jägermeister. By the way, if you haven't checked out Thank God I'm Atheist, I can't recommend it enough. Those guys are so funny and smart.
Yeah,
and,
they're okay. They're okay. I mean, I think time will tell.
I mean, you've been on that show, right, Mark?
A couple times.
Every once in a while, they have one of us, Uncle Mark or I, on, and we'll make sure to let you guys know which episodes those are.
Right.
Yeah.
They've had me on a time or two as well. Anyway, so Jägermeister, yes, that German herbal digestive liqueur that tastes like you're drinking a liquefied Ricola cough drop through a black licorice straw. Only, much worse than that.
Exactly.
Anyway, Frank's story was about a Swiss court ruling that the Jägermeister logo was old enough that the Christian iconography on it was unlikely to offend anybody. When it started showing up on blankets and shower curtains and skateboards and notebooks and basically anything your little heart could desire. For more information, go to howtoheretic.com and click on Heretique.
Exactly.
You won't find any Jägermeister stuff, but you'll totally get the idea, and you'll find so many cool things to buy.
You can find things
lose.
You can wear while you're drinking Jägermeister.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Spill your Jägermeister and then sop it up with a How to Heretic towel. Why not? Anyway, the Jaeger logo at issue in Switzerland is a nod to the company's founder's favorite hobby. He was an avid hunter at the beginning of the 20th century, you see, and his disgusting tonic was meant to be a nice elixir for after a good day of Bambi murdering. The word Jägermeister is just German for master hunter or hunt master or something like that. And the logo is a stag's head with a glowing cross between his majestic antlers. Why
That's
a cross?
Right. Yeah.
You ask?
Yeah,
you've seen it.
Yep.
On your many Jaeger binges that you like to go
you know
on.
me and the Yagi.
It's been the first thing I saw in the morning a couple times.
Do you like Jägermeister?
God, no.
Fuck.
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, look, lots of people like it, and they should all be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, why a cross, you ask? Well, this goes back to the story of Saint Hubert, or Saint Eustace. And here we are, back for another game of Whose Hagiography Is It? That wacky game show where we look at the story of two saints and realize that, they're just recycling exactly the same plot points because back in medieval times and before, most of the doofuses believing this stuff couldn't read anyway, so they had no way of knowing who was cribbing off of whose homework.
Yeah. There's only so many stories, really.
Yeah, it's true. By the way, just as a quick side note, I am going to be saying a lot of names in this thing, and I am going to pronounce them the way I want to. Maybe it's the English pronunciation. Maybe I'll try the French. I don't care. I'm just going to have fun with it. So Saint Hubert is also Saint Hubert or Saint Hubertus, and just get over it. We'll just have some fun.
Yeah.
Saint Eustace came first, though. Having been born sometime in the 1st century CE, he started life as a Roman dude named Placidus, who served as a general in Emperor Trajan's army. St. Hubert was born in the mid-600s in or around Toulouse in what is now France, and was the son of Bertrand, Duke of the Aquitaine. He married, became a popular courtier in the court of
Is French a race? Are we okay? No, it's a nationality. We're fine. Okay.
It's a race to surrender.
If it's a race,
Oh no! That just got ugly. All right.
He was a courtier in the court of Theodoric III.
Yeah.
Where he became Count of the Palace, and later was named Grand Master of the Household for Pepin of Herstal. I don't really know what any of that means, but I'm pretty sure it indicates that he had a promising career ahead of him as a, rich guy.
Yeah.
Then he married the lovely Floriban, daughter of Dragobert, who was the Count of Leuven, that lucky fellow. I'm not making any of that up yet.
See, you could exactly.
Floriban eventually became great with child, and everything seemed set to be a great story with a bunch of weird names. Hubert and Floriban even apparently decided to combine their names for their kid and name him Floribert. See? The Merovingian kingdoms weren't so different from the Mormons here in Utah, right? Well, things went wrong for old Hubert. Floriband died trying to pop out baby Floribert, and everything. And even though the kid survived, Hubert fell into a great depression. Pretty much the only thing that could lift old Hubie's spirits was a good hunt. And here's where Hubert's story and Eustace's story become basically the same. One Good Friday morning, Hubert skipped church to go out a-hunting. Again, just like the Mormons.
Yeah.
He came upon a big old buck, perfectly in range of his bow. Silently, he drew an arrow from his quiver, placed the nock on the bowstring, drew back the string, and froze. Because just then, that noble heart turned to him, and between his antlers was a glowing cross. Ooh. Now, in Eustace's case, a stag with a glowing cross, or possibly crucifix with a little G.I. Jesus hanging on it, was enough to turn him Christian forever. Then he had a whole Trials of Job experience where within a short amount of time, all his wealth was stolen, his servants all died of plague, a ship captain kidnapped his wife, Theopista, and his two sons, Agapius and Theopistus, were taken in the same incident at the same moment by a wolf and a lion, respectively.
What? Where the fuck would that happen?
Shut your fucking mouth. That's where.
Oh, I remember that place. Yes.
Yeah. It was somewhere in or around Rome. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of shit went down in Rome. We know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Eustace was, sad. But he held firm to his antler-based faith and thus proved his holiness. Then he was reunited with his family, had all his wealth and power restored to him. Yay!
Yay.
But you don't get sainthood just for being good. So the story throws in that Emperor Hadrian got pissed when Eustace refused to do a pagan sacrifice and burned his whole family to death inside the bronze statue.
Wow, what a case of the Mondays.
Right?
Yeah.
Win some, lose some, I guess.
Yeah.
It's,
God sure knows how to reward those that have faith in him.
Right?
Is the moral of the story.
It's a really great story. It's heartwarming is really what it is. Hubert, on the other hand, wasn't done with his Patronus experience. His glowing cross-antlered deer walked over to him and scolded him for being a bad boy. He told him that unless he turned his life around and devoted himself to much more Jesus-y stuff, he was going to be sent straight to hell. Well, this was a pretty powerful moment, as you can imagine. Hubert was so overcome that he accidentally loosened his grip, and his bowstring shot that arrow straight between the eyes of the stag, killing it and opening its skull, thus released 100,000 demons into the world. They flew about, haunting and tempting the local magistrates until all of France was ensconced in madness. Wars broke out, brother fighting against brother, otherwise peaceful people murdering each other left and right. The kingdoms descended into madness.
All right, I'm a vegan.
Just kidding. None of that happened. That would have been a good story, though, right?
Yes, a much better story.
That didn't happen. What also didn't happen, but because all of this is bullshit, but is said to have actually happened, was that Hubert fell to his knees and said, "What should I do?" To which the stag said, "You will go to the Dagobah system. There you will seek out Yoda." No, kidding again. The stag actually told him to go to Maastricht in the Netherlands and seek out Lambert. But same basic concept. Lambert was to guide him in the ways of Jesus. Excuse me. Hubert was very grateful for this and thanked the deer. The deer gracefully nodded, and Hubert rose and mounted his horse. And then the deer, having delivered God's message, decided that, since he had the power of speech and all, he'd deliver a message of his own. And another thing, God wanted me to tell you some new rules about hunting, said the deer, and then spent the next hour and a half lecturing Hubert about about being more respectful to animals, and established a whole system of rules about not killing does who had littles, because then who would take care of them? Oh, and you can only take a shot if you're pretty damn sure it'll be a quick, clean kill. And don't be a dick. Kill older stags after they've passed their mating prime, and on and on and on. You have a whole bunch of rules.
Wow.
And that actually now is used in places like Germany as sort of the sort of standard for how you're supposed to hunt.
Really?
Wow. Or at least it was for the inventor of Jägermeister, which I found interesting.
The Trump children did not get that message, by the way.
No. Well, they didn't. They were hunting the wrong things. Only deer will tell you that. If you see a rhinoceros with a cross between his horns, you just shoot it.
I think if Don Jr. and Eric ever get within shooting distance of a deer, they're going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, exactly. The deer turns around and is like, "I have a message for you." Bam!
Yeah.
All right. So Hubie went on to become the Bishop of Maastricht. Before that, he went away from the meeting with the deer, feeling super pumped about Jesus, and since hunting was basically ruined now, he headed to the Netherlands, leaving his little son with his brother Odo, who also got to have his birthright, which is pretty cool. And then he went on to become the Duke of Aquitaine. So, Odo wasn't exactly trying to talk Hubert out of his new hobby.
Right.
Hubie went on to become the Bishop of Maastricht, and then the Bishop of Liège, which was a small village at the time, but has now grown to become a thriving Belgian metropolis with waffle-making Walloons everywhere you look.
How about that?
Speaking of food, Jägermeister isn't the only culinary connection to Hubert.
No. Is that where we get Camembert?
No. Don't be an idiot.
Boo.
Oh, you hate cheese. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now I know you. Great.
No, this is a connection for our people. The people of the Great White North, eh?
Oh, mayonnaise?
Oh, eh?
Saint Hubert is a brand up in Canada, and their sauce, one of their gravies that you can get in the can or get a package mix of, is what is traditionally used for poutine.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, le poutine.
So, please enjoy your French fries and cheese with a delightful Saint Hubert sauce.
And a giant glass of warm Jägermeister.
And a huge old glass
of licorice poison. Do you know, can I tell, I've probably spent about 3 years-ish now in Canada. Do you know how many times I've eaten poutine here?
How many?
Once.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. It's not.
Have you
it's
spent
not
any
a
time
low-calorie meal.
Well, that it is not.
No. You need to be in Eastern Canada for the good stuff, though. No offense to the Western Canadians, but I think we all know that it's Quebec where the good stuff is.
That's right. It's quite popular in Ontario as well, and I've spent a lot of time there. But I just I don't know. I try to eat a little better. My age.
Well, that's just insane because a really good poutine, and my mom lives in Ottawa. I know where the good poutine is there. Mm-hmm. It is heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Like they do the fries up right. They do everything right, and it's not just fries and gravy and cheese. It is the right kind of fries with the right kind of cheese, and that's Saint Hubert sauce.
In Belgium, there is a cathedral that's dedicated to that moment where he saw the stag. I've been to that cathedral.
Oh, interesting.
And I didn't know the story. So I just sat there thinking, like, these people really love their Jägermeister. or Jägermeister is sponsoring a cathedral.
Right. Yeah. That was actually the case. That is true. The other thing about Saint Hubert it's interesting is that he is credited with inventing not a cure for rabies, but a prophylactic if you get bit by what is presumed to be a rabid animal. They call it Saint Hubert's key, which is like you take a nail or something metal and you get it super duper hot, and then you burn out the spot at which you were bit. And it actually can work. It can actually kill the virus. They thought it was doing something else, but it can.
It's what I did both times. Yeah.
And now you're only half rabid. Only when there's a full moon.
I'm rabbish.
Yes,
Which half?
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. I'm hungry for some poutine and some Jägi, which I've never craved before in my life, and I'm lying about it now.
So there you go. You've got that dopey Walloon to thank for it all. So voila, that's it. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Bottoms up.